Welcome to 19 Miles, the podcast dedicated to propelling you 19 miles forward. I'm Stella, your host, and each week we deep dive into powerful stories, my unsolicited advice, and how you can overcome adversity and unlock your true potential. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of 19 Miles. I just want to start off with saying thank you so much for all of the support so far, you guys. It literally means the absolute world to me. This has been such a scary thing, starting my own podcast and doing it all on my own. But at the end of the day, I'm so proud of myself. And a reminder, if you are enjoying these episodes, please make sure that you follow and give me a rating if you enjoy it. Please don't leave a rating if you're hating this. You can just pretend that that's not a thing. But yeah, I really appreciate all the support. It just means so much to me. So thank you, guys. I am really excited for this one. So I was actually listening to a Joe Dispenza video this morning on YouTube, and it got me thinking, and that is why we have this episode. So this episode is going to be all about why you are not achieving your goals. So listen to this if you want to unlock the secret to achieving your goals. But before we get into this episode, let's do a quick recap. So my best is been, if you're watching, you would see that I got my hair done, which if you are in Dubai, highly recommend going and seeing the team at Lunatic Fringe. They did my hair and they slayed. They really did. It's like the nicest chocolate brown. I'm just like, loving it. I'd also say going for night swims. So Big Daddy and I did this the other night after I was feeling quite homesick, and yeah, I've been struggling with that a lot since moving here, to be fair. But we went for a night swim and it was literally just like so nice. I don't know, it was something, it was so windy outside and it was just like, it was just so nice. So that would also be my best. And then my worst, I would say, is construction. I don't know what is with construction following me around the world. I don't know if you remember in Bali, it was horrendous. So yeah, construction is it's driving me insane. But my new perspective on that is I'm grateful that I have the ability to hear. I also have the ability to leave the house, work somewhere else, noise cancellation headphones, all the things. Anyways, enough about my weekly recap. Let's get straight into this week's episode. So I'm going to start off with some questions that I have for you. Do you ever look at someone else's life and wish that you had it? Do you ever compare yourself to others? How many of today's thoughts were familiar to you? Maybe you had them yesterday or you had them last week. Maybe you feel like you have this overwhelming reality that you can't change. Well, what if I told you everything you need to have that dream life, to stop comparing yourself to others, to stop feeling anxious, and to remove those overwhelming thoughts you already have within? I want you to listen very closely. Our thoughts manifest our reality. And depending on your perspective, you can find this extremely scary or extraordinary. Our mind doesn't know the difference between our reality and imagination. I'm going to say that again. Our mind doesn't know the difference between our reality and our imagination. I thought I was living this victim-free state of mind because, I don't know, I didn't think I was using my past as an excuse. And I took responsibility for my life and my behaviors. Like, it wasn't like I was going into the next relationship thinking, oh, poor me, like I'm just this way because I've been cheated on, or poor me, I am always going to be like, I'll never be able to achieve the things that I want because I grew up in a family that didn't have any money, and like I wasn't thinking like that. So I assumed I'm not living in a victim mentality. Thoughts that I did have. I live with anxiety and struggle to manage my stress, but that's just life. I'd tell myself, that's the life I know. I'd allow my thoughts to spiral into these body-consuming emotions, which then turned into this physical stress response, which you might be familiar with as an anxiety attack or a panic attack. Well, turns out Just because not all aspects of my life were lived through this victim mentality, there were still elements where I did play victim. The anxiety attacks or panic attacks were a legitimate response to the thoughts I was having, and rightly so if you went inside my mind. But I wasn't living victim free. I was subconsciously living my life in a victim mentality, and I was allowing myself to be the victim of my own thoughts. At the end of the day, anxiety is just thoughts. What creates stress? There may be environmental factors, but ultimately our thoughts create stress. So, what creates happiness? Environment definitely plays a part, but without our thoughts, there is no happiness. What creates love? Our thoughts. Ever thought that you loved someone and for whatever reason it doesn't work out, and you look back in a few months' time and you're like, what was I literally thinking? Well, newsflash, it was literally just your thoughts that created that reality in your mind. You fall in love with the potential of somebody because your mind, you can't, like, you fixate on this person and you come up with this fairy tale of a reality, but at the end of the day they're all just thoughts. Or you could eat a whole block of chocolate. If you continue about your day and not give it the mental real estate, then it will be just that, eating a block of chocolate. Or you could let your thoughts beat you up, allow your thoughts to turn into a behavioral response of restriction and your behavior to turn into an outcome being the life you hate. Have you ever gone for a run and been in such an emotional, angry state and suddenly you've hit a PB? You used your thoughts to drive emotion, which drove action. And the action drove the outcome, your personal best. If our minds don't know the difference between thoughts and reality, this means we have the ability to have a legitimate stress response to an anxious situation that could be purely made up of thoughts and not entirely our reality. Flip the switch. This also means we have the ability to have a calm, happy response to the same situations. Remember when you were in school and the teacher would get up and they'd say, we're doing a brainstorming exercise, and she'd put a topic on the whiteboard, and initially you'd wonder how there could be more than 1, 2, maybe 3 ideas on the whiteboard. But then suddenly the whiteboard is full of ideas. Where energy goes, things grow. If we focus on the positives will grow. If we focus on the negatives, then the negatives will grow. I know which life I'd prefer to be living. Ever wondered why someone enjoyed a movie so much that you didn't enjoy? Or why your experience of a moment could be so different to somebody else's? Well, your thoughts played a part in that too. Just because you have a thought doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So, circling back, you're not achieving your goals. Why? 90% of your thoughts today are the same as the day before. So, if we've already had 90% of our thoughts, and the same thoughts lead to the same behavior, and the same behavior creates the same experience, and the same experience produces the same emotion, and the same emotion leads to the same choice, which leads to the same outcome, how on earth do you think you'll just achieve all of your goals if you're not changing your thoughts? If you wake up every day not defined by the future you envision, and you go see the same people and you go to the same coffee shop and you drink the same coffee at the exact same time, it's not your personality creating your personal reality. Your personal reality is creating your personality. Are you allowing your environment to control how you think and feel? Are you using your environment to justify your thoughts and emotions? Maybe you're using your breakup to reaffirm your addiction to suffering. Maybe you use your enemy to reaffirm your addiction to hatred. Maybe you use your friends to reaffirm your addiction to drama, or your parents to reaffirm your addiction to judgment. Now you're holding your outer world responsible for you feeling something. So how do we reprogram ourselves? How do we control our thoughts? Put simply, affirmations, meditation, implementation of education, visualization, awareness of our thoughts, that kind of thing. The word meditation literally means to become familiar with the basic nature of our own minds. So when you become familiar with the thoughts, behaviors, and emotions of yourself or your old self, you allow yourself to retire that old self. Do this over and over and over again, and you will condition your mind and your body into a new emotional state that will eventually become familiar to you. AKA, you will achieve your goals. You have to become greater than your environment. Anyways, that is all for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this super quick little episode. I know it's very short and sweet, but I feel like it's just jam-packed with golden nuggets left, right, and center. As always, thank you so much for listening, you guys. And if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to rate and follow, as it really supports me. It will make sure that you're staying up to date with new episodes. And I hope you'll have a wonderful week. Love you guys so much. Bye.